All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect. Basically, I was just meditating. Actually, I was listening to this song, okay, and there was this lyric in there. I can't remember it, but it was something along the lines of, the artist was saying how, on the carnal aspect, that he wanted his music to be something that lasts, and not just one of those artists that just passes by like the wind, and it made me think about the scriptures and how really the prophets of the Lord, you gotta recognize the importance of your role, okay, and understand that we have a very, very important role. We are part of the main characters of this storyline, okay, of the world. All right, and our lives are not in vain. Okay, from the beginning of the earth, our lives have not been in vain, man. The scriptures have kept record of the lives of the prophets, okay, and everything they did and how it has impacted, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, how it has impacted the course of history to where we are now. All right, the prophets, their lives are more important than the average quote unquote people, especially these heathens, because the scriptures talk about those who were born in vain, okay, and I'm gonna pull that, but it talks about how you have people who were born in vain. All right, so if you thinking of it like an example would be like a movie scene. All right, when they're shooting, you have the main characters, the protagonist, the antagonist, and then you have the extra, those who are just there. All right, but the prophets are really like the main characters of the story. All right, which is why when you read through the scriptures, majority of the books you read are accounts of the lives of the prophets and how the Lord used them to do certain things. All right, and so because you have people who ask, oh well, why were we put here on earth? Why we, what was the purpose of man? Well, a majority of people were put on earth in vain. Majority of them, they're here on this earth right now to serve their judgment. All right, to get their reward, which the reward of the prophets for prophesying since the beginning. Let me get a precept on that. All right, their reward. All right, they're gonna get their reward. That's why they're here. All right, they're gonna get the recognition which the Lord promised them. Okay, so this is I believe this is 70. There we go. So this is Luke chapter 1 verse let me just get to the point. Verse 70, it says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, all right, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. All right, but that verse 70 is saying basically that since the world began, the Lord has been speaking by the mouth of his prophets, all right, performing miracles and doing the tasks here on earth by way of his prophets. All right, so the prophets, their lives aren't in vain. They when the prophets die and come back, we do the same thing over and over again. Okay, we're the ones who are like who this is really about through the spirit. All right, and I'm referring on to the elect over here. All right, the 144,000 and the 1/3. Okay, but mainly the 144,000. Well, they are part of the 1/3, but the 144,000 prophets, man. Okay, so let me get this precept because I did say I was gonna get it. Second Esdras. Okay, this is Second Esdras chapter 9 verse. I'll start at verse 22. It says, "Let the multitude perish then." All right. Khan. It says, "Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant for with great labor have I made it perfect." Okay, so the Lord basically said, let the multitude perish. Why? Because they were born in vain. All right, they have they serve no purpose, because guess what? That includes the 2/3 and these heathens. All right, the only ones who are doing what's pleasing unto the Lord, therefore have a purpose for being on this earth right now is the elect, the 144,000. All right, the prophets. All right, and the elect. Okay. Because the Lord is using the prophets, man, to do what he wants them to do. Okay, so they play a very important role in the world we're living in right now, and in the world in general. All right. And and us being tasked with that, all right, being called to do that work, it's an honorable thing. All right, don't take it lightly, and because you do it, and it right now, of course, we're at the bottom. It seems like we're neglected. We're just at the bottom of everything. We catch hell more than the rest of the people. But guess what? We have something that they don't. All right, we have Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, he teaches us. He's with us, which is something that they don't have. That makes us the main characters of this story and not them. Okay, the Lord, look, man, let me get this right here, man. All right, just to show you the importance of what we've been blessed with. Okay, all right, show you the importance of what we've been blessed is. This is Amos 3:7. All right, it says, surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. Okay, the Lord reveals his secrets to you, and if you got the Most High revealing secrets to you, man, that's above everything, man. That means that the Most High is, look, even on a carnal level, man, you don't reveal your secrets to somebody that you're not cool with. Even if you're cool with certain people, there's only a few amount of people that you'll like reveal a secret to. Those who you're close with, like your close friends or family members. Why? Because you're tight with them and you can trust them. And here the Lord said what? He reveals the secrets to his prophets. All right? The prophets, they're the Lord's boys, man. Okay? And that's what makes them so important. They're the ones the Lord thinks about, which is when he looks on here, man. And for the elect's sake, the scriptures say, for the elect's sake, all right, Israel is real. That's why all Israel won't be destroyed, for the elect's sake. All right, it's all about the elect. Okay, so this is because the elect have been there and they've been spoken of since the beginning, man. The Lord chose the elect to be his special characters. All right, Ephesians chapter 1 verse 4. According as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. Okay, holy meaning separate. So the Lord separated. All right, he separated the elect. He separated his prophets. All right, he chose them to do a specific task from the beginning until now, and they're the ones he's really concerned about. All right, that's why he's constantly with them, directing their steps to do that which he requires of them. All right. Why? Because he trusts his men, and that's why he ultimately he's going to give his men that power. He's going to give his men that fame. Okay, and that's a very, very important role. All right, that's a very important role. Verse 5, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua HaMashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. So really, one of the main reasons Yahushua went on the cross was to save the elect's hind. Okay. Was to cover the elect, because guess what? At the end of the day, all Israel will be saved, but all Israel, the 2/3 of Israel, are gonna die here in America, or will die wherever they are. They're gonna come into the kingdom through the loins of the elect. But the Lord didn't want the elect to go through that horrible death, the second death, which is why he had Yahushua, his blood pay for them. He adopted the elect back, because he already predestined that these men right here, these chosen, okay, these chosen are no matter what, I got them, man. That's how important they are to the Lord. That's how dear they are to the Lord's eyes, man, to the Lord's heart. Okay, and throughout the scriptures, it always talks about the prophets. All right, it talks about Israel and it talks about the prophets and what they did. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. All these prophets, the books are all prophets, man. All right, and the importance of their work, what they did. Precept. Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. All right, and how were they written? All right, by the prophets, and they were really written about what the prophets did. All right, so that we here could read it, All right, and do the same thing we did back then. Okay, but it's the importance, man. The role. The prophets are not just part of that multitude that were born in vain. The Lord said, there we go, Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee to be a prophet unto the nations. So the Lord already set it up, man. Like, that's how important the prophets are to him, that when that spirit goes into the body, he's like, yep, that right there, he's going to be a prophet. I'm going to have him do this, and that. All right? He sanctifies the prophets, man. And that's why the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets, because what? They have a special spirit. The spirit of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy. All right, and only a select few men are blessed with that spirit to be able to do that, which is why Paul said, what? Covet to prophesy. See if I get that. All right. 1 Corinthians 14 and damn, I just lost it. Whoa. You know what? I'll just start at what's going on here? Salakia. All 39. Con right there. So it says, I'll start at verse 30. You know what? I'll start at verse 37. It says, if any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. Verse 38, if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophesy, and forbid not to speak with tongues. Let all things be done decently and in order. Why? Because that's one of the greatest gifts, to be able to prophesy. Okay? It's a gift from the Heavenly Father, man. All right? And it's a very important thing, man. That's the importance of being a prophet. All right, you're literally the mouthpiece of the Most High through His Son, the Most High and His Son. You're the mouthpiece for them, man. All right, you know, we are the ambassadors, so to speak. All right, on earth. Okay, we're telling these people what the Most High's will is, which He revealed to us, man. And that's a very important thing, man. We're servants to the... You know what? Let me get this last precept before I close it. There we go. John 15. I start at verse 14. It says, ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. Okay, so hey, man, the Lord said what? We're His friends. Why? Because we do what the Lord commanded of us, and that's why what? We know what the Lord does, because He reveals His secrets to who? His prophets. All right, it's a very valuable thing to be a prophet, man. All right, so cherish that, and don't think that in vain. Don't think that, you know what I mean, it's nothing, man. Your works are going seen. The Lord is noticing your works, and He will reward you accordingly, man, greatly, you know, greatly at that, for prophesying in His name and remaining faithful unto the very end. All right, so with that, shalom.